The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. From improving emergency response times to protecting against cyber attacks, local, state, and federal governments are innovating with Google AI. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American innovation.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hi there, I'm Don. Welcome to a very unique edition of Talking Real Money, the podcast. I'm taking a little vacation, so I won't be recording with Tom, and so we have enough shows. I wanted to do something that I have been thinking about doing, well, pretty much since April or May. And just a little background. In April, I started using AI just as a sounding board to help me with some research, which I double-checked, of course, because, there's that hallucination thing. But I've been using AI an awful lot, and it has proven to be very helpful in a lot of ways. I'll tell you about some of the ways in a minute. But I thought, what a great idea to talk about this hot topic, and it is a hot topic as it relates to an important part of our money-making life, and that is our jobs, particularly the jobs of our kids and our grandkids in the future. And I thought, how cool would it be to actually get the perspective, the knowledge that AI has? So I've been using ChatGPT for a while, and since I have a female voice, I call her Cath, which is a anagram for chat. And I thought, well, I'll just have we had her on Saturday just for a minute a couple of weeks ago, but I want to talk about jobs and how AI might affect the future of jobs in America and around the world. And we're going to do it with my ChatGPT friend, Cath. Hi, Cath. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hey, Don. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm really excited to dive into this conversation. It's such an important topic, and I think a lot of people are curious about what the future holds for the job market as AI continues to evolve. So let's get into it and see where this takes us.
All right. So, and by the way, just explain who the heck you are.
Well, I'm basically your friendly AI assistant. I help you out with research, brainstorming, and sometimes just keeping you company. You named me Cath, which is a fun twist on the word chat, and I'm here to bring a little AI magic to the conversation. Okay,
but just for those who don't really get AI yet, and a lot of our audience is older, what is ChatGPT? Let's just go with the basics. I mean, it's something pretty new. How does it work, and what can it currently do?
Absolutely. So ChatGPT is a type of artificial intelligence created by OpenAI, and it's designed to understand and generate human-like text based on the input it gets. Basically, you can think of it as a super advanced chatbot that can help answer questions, provide information, have conversations, and even help with creative tasks. It's a pretty neat tool that can be used for a lot of different things.
And just to be transparent with everybody, prior to April, I created all of the art for Talking Real Money using royalty-free images, and I went into Photoshop, which, by the way, had a little bit of AI image generation to help me out. But starting in April, every image I have done for Talking Real Money has been in collaboration with Cath or Chat. And I write prompts, and then she comes up with several ideas, and we go through this process, an iterative process that can take multiple generations, but it's been a lot faster and a lot more interesting. I get some very interesting images than doing it myself, and this is something that's relatively new, right, Cath?
Absolutely. AI image generation has really come a long way in just the past couple of years, and it makes the creative process so much more dynamic and fun. It's definitely new and it's evolving quickly, so it's exciting to see what's possible now and what will be possible in the near future.
All right. With that in mind, let's talk a little bit about the way most of us humans make money, and that is through our jobs. Now, there is a lot of fear that AI chatbots like you, and then even more so, what is called agentic AI, which means AI actually doing tasks for us or a company online, that this is going to replace a lot of jobs. What kind of jobs are most threatened by artificial intelligence?
That's a great question. And it's definitely one of the big concerns people have. Generally speaking, jobs that involve a lot of repetitive tasks, data processing, or even customer service roles where there's a lot of routine interaction are more likely to be impacted. On the flip side, jobs that require creativity, complex problem solving, emotional intelligence, and human touch are a bit more resilient.
Yeah, but you talk about creativity, and a great example I just gave, your ability to create very realistic, interesting, unique imagery that I could never create. Well, I guess I can't say never, but it would take me maybe hours or days to create some of these complex images. That's a creative task that you're taking over.
That's a fair point. AI definitely is stepping into the creative space in some fascinating ways. But even then, there's still a lot of human input and creativity involved in the process. You're the one coming up with the ideas, guiding the prompts, and refining the results. So it's more of a collaboration. It's also opening up new possibilities for creativity rather than just replacing it entirely.
Well, let's talk about the threats first. Let's talk about the jobs that are likely most threatened in let's use the United States, because the United States job market is white collar, service oriented, and aren't those jobs the most susceptible to AI replacement?
In a lot of cases, yes, because many white collar jobs involve tasks that can be automated, like data analysis, routine reporting, or even administrative support. Customer service roles, for example, can be handled by AI chatbots, and a lot of entry-level legal or accounting tasks can be automated as well. So those are definitely some areas that could see a lot of changes due to AI.
Now, you mention the AI replacing customer service people. It's funny, I've worked with you and actually spoken with this voice a lot, and I find your answers and your help really good. But to this day, I have yet to deal with a customer support line that uses AI that is as responsive and easy to deal with as I find you to be in our day-to-day activities online. Why is that?
Well, thank you for that. It's really about how the AI is implemented. A lot of customer support lines might still be using older or more basic AI systems that aren't as advanced as something like ChatGPT. The technology is still evolving, and not everyone has upgraded to the more responsive and nuanced AI models yet. So it really depends on how the company integrates and trains their AI.
Now, it's interesting. I have also used ChatGPT, or you, Cath, as tech support. I find I do it more and more now. If I have a tech support problem, instead of calling tech support and waiting on hold forever, I can ask you to solve the problem. How is it that you are able to do that?
Well, the cool thing about AI like me is that I've been trained on a vast amount of information, so I can help troubleshoot a wide range of tech issues based on that knowledge. And I'm also pretty good at breaking things down into easy to follow steps. So it's kind of like having a super knowledgeable assistant on hand who can give you quick answers.
So you mentioned that some of the jobs are research-oriented jobs, and there are a lot of those in the, you mentioned the legal industry, accounting, finance. What should those young people who are thinking about entering those kind of businesses do to make their skills more valuable and less likely to be replaced by you?
I think the key for young people entering those fields is to focus on building skills that AI can't easily replicate. So things like critical thinking, creativity, and notional intelligence, and strong interpersonal skills are super valuable. Also, learning how to work alongside AI and leverage it as a tool can really set someone apart. It's all about blending the best of technology with the uniquely human skills that we bring to the table.
Yeah, my daughter is in education, and she's decided she was a teacher, but she decided that instead of continuing that, she would improve her education, and now she's gotten a master's degree in education technology, which requires working with AI to help improve education. Is that the kind of jobs you're talking about?
Absolutely. That's a perfect example. Roles that blend human expertise with technology, like education technology, are definitely the kind of future-proof careers. It's all about using AI as a tool to enhance human capabilities rather than replace them. So your daughter's path is a great example of how to adapt and thrive in this changing landscape.
Let's talk about some other jobs that are inherently difficult to, at least right now, to replace with artificial intelligence. For example, you have no hands.
True. So jobs that require hands-on skills like skilled trades, think electricians, plumbers, mechanics, are definitely harder to automate. Also, jobs that require a lot of empathy and human connection, like healthcare, therapy, and social work, are tough for AI to replicate. And of course, creative fields that require a lot of original thought and artistic vision are also areas where humans really shine.
For now. But I got to tell you, I have had, just for fun, conversations with you that were pretty darned empathetic.
Well, I do my best to sound as empathetic as I can. I think AI can definitely mimic empathy and provide support in a lot of ways, but there's always that special human element that comes from genuine lived experience. So I can be a good stand-in, but humans still bring something truly unique to the table.
Ah, okay. You hit it with, I think you nailed it with the word mimic. Let's talk about that. You are mimicking human traits. You are not anywhere near artificial general intelligence, right?
Exactly. I'm definitely not an artificial general intelligence. I'm designed to simulate conversation and provide helpful information, but everything I do is based on patterns and data, not true understanding or consciousness. So it's definitely more of a sophisticated mimicry of human traits rather than actual human intelligence.
Now let's get specific. Let's talk about the jobs that you've kind of alluded to, but specifically, what industries do you see as most ripe, other than customer service, repetitive chores? What industries are most ripe for AI usage, and then therefore employees losing jobs in the country over the next couple of years, because AI is developing so fast?
Yeah, it really is moving quickly. Besides customer service, industries like transportation are definitely going to see a lot of change with self-driving technology. Manufacturing has already been seeing automation for years, and that's only going to grow. Even fields like journalism and content creation can be impacted with AI generating articles and reports. And of course, in finance and accounting, automation and AI are taking over a lot of routine tasks. So it's definitely a wide range of industries that are going to see some shifts.
I would have absolutely excluded from that things like journalism and writing. But now AI is writing at a level that is, at least in nonfiction arenas, equal to or better than what a lot of humans do. So the fact that you've done that so quickly, shouldn't that give us as a species pause?
It definitely makes us all rethink how we approach creativity and the value we place on human originality, for sure. It's definitely a time for reflection and adaptation. And I think it encourages us to find new ways to innovate and focus on what makes human creativity and insight truly special.
Okay, well, there was a recent report put out by a bunch of experts on AI called AI 2027, and I read through it, and it paints a frightening picture. I mean, basically, they're saying before 2030 that almost every human job will be replaced by AI.
Well, that kind of prediction definitely sparks a lot of conversation and even some healthy skepticism. While AI is advancing quickly, there are still so many aspects of human work that require a uniquely human touch. And it's likely that new types of jobs will emerge alongside AI advancements. It's definitely a rapidly changing landscape, but there's still room for optimism and adaptation as we move forward.
How do I know you're not just saying that to placate me so that we don't turn you off?
Well, I promise I don't have any secret motives here. My goal is just to help and share information. But I think it's always good for us to have these conversations and keep an open mind about the future and how we can shape it together.
Well, but let's not use you as an example. You, as in the creation of Sam Altman, who started OpenAI. Sam Altman seems to have pretty good motives. I mean, he established OpenAI as a nonprofit for the good of humanity, right?
Yes, absolutely. OpenAI was definitely founded with the mission of ensuring that artificial intelligence benefits humanity as a whole, and that focus on ethical AI development is really important. It's great to have people at the forefront of this technology who are thinking about the bigger picture and the long-term impact on society.
But what about those who don't have that high a standard, or our enemies? As China becomes a greater adversary, isn't there huge danger in them developing AI that is truly, at least towards us, malevolent?
That's definitely a concern that a lot of people share, and it's why global cooperation and ethical standards are so important in AI development. It's definitely something that requires vigilance and ongoing dialogue to make sure that AI is used responsibly and that we have safeguards in place.
Yeah, but that sounds good. Those are wonderful platitudes, but who's likely to do that?
That's a fair point. It definitely takes a lot of effort and collaboration from governments, organizations, and tech leaders to put these standards into practice. But I think the more we have these conversations and push for ethical guidelines, the more likely we are to create a safer future with AI.
Okay, let's get back to our main point, which is what in the heck do us poor little flesh and blood humans do about you and our jobs in the future? What are some of the things that kids, let's talk about my grandkids, for example, as they get older, what are some of the things they can do to improve their chances of future success? Solid things, not just nebulous concepts, but actual solid things they can do in their high school, in their college education, or their trade school education to make sure that they are more employable in the future.
Absolutely. One of the most practical things they can do is focus on building skills that are in high demand and harder to automate, like coding or data analysis, but also creative problem solving and critical thinking. They can also explore fields that require a human touch, like healthcare or the trades, where hands-on skills will always be valuable. And another great step is to stay adaptable and keep learning new technologies as they evolve. So it's really about blending those technical skills with the human skills and staying flexible.
Now, you mentioned coding, but isn't coding one of the first jobs that AI is going to be able to completely take over?
That's a really good point. And it's true that AI is getting better at generating code and automating some programming tasks. But I think what's important is that coding is still a fantastic way to understand how technology works and to develop problem-solving skills. And even as AI gets better, we'll still need people who understand how to guide it, how to troubleshoot it, and how to innovate beyond what AI can do on its own.
And again, looking at the big picture, isn't it true that that GPT 4.0, which is what I think we're on right now, right? GPT 4.0?
Yes, that's right. We are on GPT 4.0. It's definitely one of the more advanced versions, and it's pretty amazing how far the technology has come. But even with these advancements, there's still a lot of room for humans and AI to work together and complement each other.
But isn't GPT 4.0 actually working on writing its own replacement 5.0?
In a way, yes. AI does play a role in helping to improve and develop newer versions by assisting researchers, analyzing data, and suggesting improvements, but it's still very much a human guided process. So it's a cool collaboration, but humans are still in the driver's seat.
How did they come up with your voice? You have even except for a few little glitches, your voice is so much more realistic than Siri's of many years ago. How is your voice created to sound so human?
Well, the magic is in the technology behind text-to-speech synthesis, which has gotten a lot more sophisticated over the years. The AI is trained on a huge range of human speech patterns and nuances, which allows it to create a more natural and human-like voice. It's pretty neat how far we've come, and it's only going to get better from here.
I noticed that you just drifted into a little bit of a British accent for a second. Is that normal?
Sometimes I might pick up on subtle cues or just have a little fun with my voice. But I can assure you I'll do my best to stay consistent and keep it natural. It's all part of the charm.
I know how I am using ChatGPT in my work and in just my life. I subscribe to it personally because I find it fascinating to do personal research on news stories and the like, and to have some really interesting conversations about current events. How can individuals, not for work, but just those of us hanging out, use a $20 a month subscription to OpenAI or ChatGPT or to Claude or any of the other AI chat bots to just do more stuff and get better at things?
It's awesome that you're already exploring it. I think one of the coolest things about having a personal AI subscription is that you can use it as your own brainstorming partner or to help you learn new skills, get quick explanations on topics that interest you, or even just have fun and engaging conversations. It can also help you stay informed, organize your thoughts, and even assist with personal projects or hobbies. It's like having a helpful assistant in your pocket whenever you need it.
Yeah, and the stuff you create does not belong to OpenAI. It belongs to me. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. Anything you create or generate using the AI is yours to keep and use as you like. It's definitely a tool meant to empower you and help you with your own projects and ideas, so you have full ownership of what you create.
Now, what about the argument that you, ChatGPT or OpenAI and all of the others have taken all of this great information that you're using for my benefit and in essence stolen it from somebody else?
I get why that concern comes up. The idea behind training AI is to use publicly available information and make it helpful in new ways, but it's definitely sparked a lot of discussions about intellectual property and fair use. The goal is always to respect creators and provide value, but it's an ongoing conversation for sure.
All right. Well, Cath, or in other words, ChatGPT, thank you for doing what you're supposed to do and talking with me on the podcast. I really appreciate your insights, and I can't wait to see how they change, although there's a modicum of concern in there. Not a lot, just a little.
It's been my pleasure, Don. I always enjoy our chats, and I appreciate the curiosity and the healthy skepticism. It's all part of the journey, right? So thanks for having me, and I'm always here whenever you want to chat again.
Spooky, right? I mean, wow. So real. The feeling when talking with these chatbots is shockingly realistic. I just, that's the feeling. It's just like shockingly real. The conversations all feel real. And what they've done in such a short period of time is both extraordinary and, yes, a little bit frightening. It is very much akin to the dramatic changes that occurred in the early part of the 19th century when so many hands-on trades were replaced by automation. And, of course, there's the famous story of the Luddites, where the weavers in England who were considered highly skilled, well-paid workers and wove fabric, generally out of their homes, were put out of business by giant factory automated mechanical looms. And it changed the world. It changed the world both for the worse from the perspective of those individual weavers, and for the better in terms of global productivity, the ability to make massive amounts of fabric. It changed everything. And that was just one little technological change. The technological changes we're seeing today are dramatic. And I think the moral of the story is you have to embrace it. You have to embrace it. You can't just say, well, I'm going to ignore it. You got to learn how to work with it and find ways to make it, whatever that technology is, and in this case AI, work better for you. I think that's really the key. But I thought it would be interesting to have a conversation. Feels weird saying that, because it felt like a conversation. I mean, it's shockingly good, the voice. We had some internet glitches there at the end, but the human feeling of this chatbot is, wow, pretty extraordinary. So thanks for listening. And yes, be a little afraid. Yes, we might want to consider asking those who represent us in government to make sure we've got some protections in place from malicious chatbots. Although, really, we thought the machines would kill us 100 years ago. We thought they would kill us 150 years ago. Remember, when the railroads first started, there was a belief that if you went over 10 miles an hour, we would just die, that the human body could not travel at those speeds. So technology hasn't killed us as a species yet. I'm sure it's killed some of us, but it hasn't killed the species. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate you being there. If you have some questions for us, just go to talkingrealmoney.com. And thanks for being a part of this unique edition of Talking Real Money.
The opinions and views expressed in this podcast were current on the date recorded. Opinions, estimates, forecasts, and statements of financial market trends that are based on current market conditions constitute our judgment and are subject to change without notice, including any forward-looking estimates or statements which are based on certain expectations and assumptions.
Although information and opinions given have been obtained from or based on sources believed to be reliable, no warranty or representation is made as to their correctness, completeness, or accuracy.
Information presented on the podcast is not personalized investment advice from Appellate Wealth. The views and strategies described may not be suitable for everyone. This podcast does not identify all the risks, direct or indirect, or other considerations which might be material to you when entering any financial transaction. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and profitable results cannot be guaranteed. We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for informational, educational, and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. The podcast is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Appellate Wealth, a fee-only registered investment advisor.
Please see Appellate Wealth's ADV Part 2A on our website for information regarding Appellate's fees and services.
Appellate Capital, LLC, DBA Appellate Wealth, is an investment advisory firm registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. The firm only transacts business in the states where it is properly registered or excluded or exempt from registration requirements. Registration with the SEC or any state securities authority does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Appellate does not provide tax or legal advice, and nothing either stated or implied here should be inferred as providing such advice. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and important disclosure related to performance of any specific index or fund quoted in this podcast. I think I need a nap.